Bisexual people of Reddit, what would you say is the main difference between dating women and men? Women are more neurotic and men are more emotionally unavailable. Dating women tends to make me feel like I'm not good enough, while dating men tends to make me feel alone and unheard. Bi woman here. Pros of being with a man: I don't get judged for it, I feel more protected, we can have kids. Pros of being with a woman: we relate to each other more, we don't have to use protection, we can share more things, like clothes and makeup. And honestly, just being attracted to a man vs a woman is very different, for me at least. Women are easier to connect to emotionally, men are easier to connect to sexually. I don't like that it is that way. I'd love to have better sex with women and more intimacy / love with men. But that's been my experience so far. ETA, I'm not saying my ex-GFS were bad in bed or my ex-BFS didn't love me, they did and they were great. Just saying that, as a woman, it's easier for me to get into deep trust and emotional connection with another woman, and it's easier and faster, to get into the hot sex stuff with a man. I imagine this is a socialization issue. They're both wonderful, though. Men are great. They just want 3 things: to get off, to chill out, and to obsess over, insert hobby, together. Women are more complicated. You have to make them feel a certain way in certain moments by doing and behaving in certain ways. They want you to be in control, but not too much control that they feel they don't have a say. Not doing something is itself a thing to them. It's much more involved. However, they become more attached than men and you become much more of a team if you do it right. TLDR, women are more work for better payoff. Men are less work but more casual. My relationship with the women I dated was always more intimate and generally I felt better / safer around them and their friends. But men were always generally more fun to be with. I had to worry way less if my jokes / opinions would hurt them or something. With that being said, I would rather be with a woman than a man since an intimate, trusty relationship means everything to me. I think what people would find surprising is that there isn't actually that much difference. If we are talking about actual dating, as in being in some sort of relationship, rather than dating as in going on first dates. Going on first dates with men or being approached by men 0/10. Being in a relationship with men or women, pretty much the same. People are people and sharing your life with another person has all the same pitfalls, trials, tribulations, regardless of gender. I don't have anything to add but would like to thank everyone here having a civil conversation. When someone thinks something may be offensive or taken incorrectly, you'll respectfully correct the error. I no longer see people communicate like this about easy subjects, let alone something with so much potential emotion. Thank you for being good people. You are restoring my hope in the kindness of humanity. I think it's interesting how one community can be so exposed, open, and real while others here embody the total opposite. Anyway, thank you. The men I've been with tend to be emotional, insecure, touch-starved. The women tend to be flaky, overly confident, impassionate about anything. Bi woman here, casual sex with women is great. You can go out for brunch the next day and just be friends. In my experience, casual sex with a man is impossible. They either treat you like garbage right after, I assume due to not wanting you to catch feelings. Or they get weird because they have caught feelings and don't know how to act. I mean, I don't identify as bi, but I also feel competent to answer this question because I'm not getting anything from anyone, so for me it's quite the same. For me the sex is different and I am way more submissive with men than women. For the overall relationship I think I get pushed out of my comfort zone with men because the women I date are very similar to me and enjoy the same activities, whereas the men I date are usually pretty different from me. I avoided women because I thought of them as more effort. I see men as simple creatures. Women sort themselves via relationship. Men sort themselves via hierarchy. I have ended up married to a woman. Gender norms create behavior traits from our upbringing. But in reality, it's the person I'm attracted to, so there isn't much difference in how the relationship develops long term. The men I date have cocks. Most of the women I date don't have cocks. I've yet to find and date a FTM man. I don't know. I have only ever had the chance to date men. Homosexuality, while not banned or unacceptable in society when I was still single, was still not celebrated the way it is today, so the gays were usually quite invisible in the bigger picture. I never met other women who were gay or bi like me that I clicked with like that, and I wasn't much better with men. I met the love of my life relatively early in my life, and since I'm monogamous, I just accepted that would never get to test the waters with women. Never dated a man, just hookups. Really, most of the guys are simple and know what they want. Women, however, not so much. It's like a mystery novel with the last page torn out. You never know who killed the butler, LMAO. I'm pansexual and non-binary, AFAB, and I've dated men and women before. The main difference is that I can relate to a woman more and I feel like talk more about personal stuff, periods, etc., and I feel weird talking about it with guys. That may just be me. Only thing I noticed being mildly curious is how many lonely horny gay dudes there are compared to horny straight women. Maybe my town, but it's like 100 to 1 on the apps. Men are simple, really simple. Like if I don't feel like working too hard for affection, I'll go to a man. I'm a guy, by the way. Bi man here, and this is the real difference. Dating women sometimes stink while dating men can be a real pain in the rear. I'm a woman. In general, when I'm around / interacting with other women, even just friends / acquaintances, I automatically take on a more dominant and masculine energy. I even notice I tend to use a deeper, more monotone voice with women vs men. That's very unintentional. Men is opposite. I always feel more submissive energy-wise, like I allow them to take lead sexually. Personally, I like this more. It's less work for me mentally and emotionally to not be the dominant presence, although I do feel like I'm more dominant and assertive in nature. I don't know if any of that made any sense. Men say they are cool with hooking up with no emotional attachment. They aren't. I've found women are more able to do that. So, I think being a man, being with men, it's easier to put my guard down and be more myself. I don't have to always be the man. I can be vulnerable sometimes. If I'm with a woman, I can never be vulnerable because I feel like I have to be the strong one. There are far more differences between individual people than there are between men and women. But being bisexual, I'm obviously biased. Hats. They usually have different kinds of hats they like to wear. There may be something to that. The level of communication. It's kind of a cliché, but it's been true for me that women communicate a lot more. More open, more willing to bring things up, we'll talk about it more in depth. This does have its downsides, too. When discussions drag on way long, that might have never even happened if one of us were a man. Women are generally higher maintenance. I have to text my girlfriend every 5 minutes, whereas I could never text my boyfriend and he wouldn't notice.